thank you for inviting me to your workshop. It's very interesting to hear different experience from this non-wood forest products. The concept is pretty new for me, as I was presented as representative for SLU, Swedish, um, the University for Agricultural Science in Sweden, but I'm a researcher at the Center for Regional Science at Umeå University, and we have a huge collaboration with the SLU, the University for Agricultural Sciences in Sweden. Just to be clear, who I'm representing in this context. So I will give you some brief explanations on what the narratives of wild berries, the scientific network for interdisciplinary collaboration, is. Let's see here. The government in Sweden did perform some money for enhanced the research on rural studies in Sweden. So we applied for some money on the concept of wild berries, and to give some views on how the development on the berry industries in Sweden could possibly also enhance rural development in Sweden. I think you're very familiar with these connections between these two, but and these are the partnership that started the network, which embrace researchers and practitioners from industry and also from the authorities that works with different aspects of food supply and food security in Sweden. And we also have partners from the voluntary sector. And these we are now approximately 40 members in this network, and the disciplines that are just now in the network in an academic way is what you can see here in the list. It's a pretty it's a broad perspective of different researchers that are interested in wild berries and its possible different aspects that could enhance the Swedish economy and also the public health. And I just have this as an example of different kind of knowledge disciplines that are represented in the network. And the purpose of this network, which I'm coordinating, is it's much based on different kind of narratives and perceptions that are developed around the wild berries, and we will also problematize this picture and these narratives to give a background for policymakers to give a better understanding of how to enhance the policy and the industry in the wild berry branches. And we had some questions to get started, and there was a huge interest for different kind of opportunities within the berry industries. What kind of challenges do they address, and how can the research and the academia help them to get better understanding for their tasks in this area? And we also had a lot of interest on different kind of values and perspectives on local food production and sustainable development. And according to sustainable development, I can tell you, I don't know the situation in Finland, but there are numbers that indicates that there are very, very low part of the berry harvesting and uh, raffinering. I don't know the English word really. uh, uh, where to which stays in the local economy, where the berry is really harvested. There are huge companies coming out with their pickers who are often recruited from abroad, and they harvest a lot of amount of berries in the forest, and then they leave the local economy with the resources, and the the refinement and the economy is developed somewhere else. So that is one of the tasks that drives this network. And then we have some kind of themes that we did develop from this, where the wild berries are carriers of various qualities and benefits, like that the other presenter here has addressed the foods with specific nutrients, and also from the government there are a huge interest for the vulnerability in food supply in Sweden. And of course, there are also aspects like regional identity and marketing. How can we enhance a place for the tourism industry based on different kind of natural resources? And we also have sustainable business models along this entire value chain, from picking, raw material handling, including transport and fractionation and processing, distributing and marketing, and to sales, to different kind of demand. And the third one, production related aspects like technology and logistics, and also how can we in a better way get access to the berry in the forest. And therefore we have some scientists that are interested in the berry forecasts in a techno way. And I also have to mention that in this in Sweden we have the allemansrätten, which is basically the law of property rights, and there are restrictions here from that the landowners want to have better control over this the berry amount volumes in Sweden, but there are some kind of tensions between this right of public access and landowners. So we have some activities during the 2020 and 2021, like meetings, seminars, and conferences to have some knowledge exchange within the network. And we also have applied for some financing of research and network maintenance in the long term. These numbers about the berry harvesting in Sweden, which I have understood is much more lower than in the Finnish example, is from 2013, but it's has not been so much changing during the time. And here you can see that the blueberries is had the majority of the harvesting. This picture has been changing over time, because in the 40s and the 50s in Sweden there was a huge demand for lingon, with cowberries in English. And then you can see the cloudberries is a small interest, but it's a small sector in the berry industry. And there is also some estimating that approximately 90% of the whole harvesting volumes in Sweden are going for export. So there is a little part of the berries harvested in Sweden that goes to consumers in our country. So it's basically health arguments and cosmetic arguments that drives different demands around the world, which these companies are exporting. And then you can see we have a line here, the green one, that tells us something about where our pickers are coming from, which is mainly from Thailand. So that was a short brief of our network in the collaboration with Finnish institutions and SLU and Umeå University. If you want any further information, so please visit this websites or send me an email. Thank you very much.